I want to let you guys know that I can't be on Facebook right now. Looks like I am a dangerous person according to the Facebook hall monitors because over the last couple of months it seems like someone's watching me. Let's say that. I made some comments that maybe could be construed as being dangerous. The one that got me for 30 days out and 90 no Facebook and 90 days no ads and no going live was a Kyle Rittenhouse thing about him winning the Kenosha challenge and being chased by a bunch of guys and basically defending himself with no support and then turning himself in and anyway he won it. So it didn't take long and I was whacked with that. I hadn't even got through the last 60 days. I was almost done for going live, so I can't really talk about stuff like I used to on Facebook. So I decided I'd post videos on YouTube and start doing that. So it's actually worked out pretty good. I did the hot rod holiday today. I made a bunch of contacts. I did one appraisal. I worked on it. Came home, printed a bunch of appraisals for a family that has some barn finds that needed to be taken care of. Well, anyway, did all that. But what I wanted to say tonight is I'm pretty upset with I read these things and I just on the internet and I see things on TV and I just don't get it. I can't believe how imbecilic, I guess that's not a word, it may be a word, I don't really care, how I can't believe the statements these liberals are talking about, like George Takei comes out and he's making a thing about how justice wasn't done and all. Even Chris Como on CNN was going, hey, you might not like it, but justice was done and this is the way it needs to be done all the time. And I have to agree with the freaking clown. And I don't like that guy at all. I think he's an asshole. But it's right. They don't like the system. In reality, it's worked better than any system on the planet. You know, back in the old days, the king or the king's sheriff or whatever, they just chopped your fucking head off. It didn't matter what color you were, what religion you were. They just trick you. And they were brutal. If you didn't like it, I mean, go over in the Middle East and some of the Arab countries. I'm not saying all of them, but some of them, they don't fuck around. You steal something, they chop your hand off. You look the wrong way at a woman, they fix it till you don't ever have any issues. But anyway, my whole point is this: is that anybody that sat back and watched that trial, anybody that, and you would see the shenanigans, the what do you call them, the prosecution pulled. I mean, basic constitutional rights, and I just don't get it. And then call him a white supremacist. Shooting a bunch of white guys to me is not white supremacist. And he was being attacked. I mean, they're like, well, he shouldn't have done this, he shouldn't have done that. Well, you know what? Was it against the law for him to carry a gun? No, because they threw that one out. Because guess what? At his age, he can carry a long gun in Wisconsin. A lot of states are like that. Some of the more fucked up liberal ones aren't. But I would say this: anybody like George Takei, these Black Lives Matter, these liberals that talk about this stuff, I just don't get it. And you know what? YouTube might kick this off too. I don't know. I don't really care. But I have to say my piece. And no kidding, And that's another thing. I have been, up until the last couple of years, I worked hard my whole life. I raised a family. I served my country honorably, honorably, okay? Look at all them letters from presidents from when up there above my thing. See all those? Those are all presidents' letters that, when I served. I got a right over there, right down, whatever the hell it is. I'm trying to show it, but anyway, back over here, see that? Those are all letters saying I was honorably freaking retired from the Navy and some other stuff. I I'm an honorable man. I have treated people equally and fairly my whole life. I haven't treated them better than nobody else. I haven't treated them worse than nobody else. I don't care what the plumbing looks like. I don't care what the skin color looks like. If you can fix a Tomcat, man, you were my fucking hero. I'm serious. That's how I lived it. I don't care. We all had a job to do. We did a good job. But here lately, there's like an evil that has come in this country. An evil. Like I watch it, I'm like, my God. Even the crazy liberal woman in the other room, she's like that. I mean, she's not as bad as some of these other clowns. I mean, she even didn't even really talk about the Rittenhouse deal. I mean, she thought it, and then when I brought up the facts and I'm telling her it, she's like, oh, I didn't hear that. Oh, I didn't hear that. And that's a woman that watches MSNBC like 24/7. I mean, she's freaking, you know what? Now they say they put stuff in food or drinks or cigarettes to, make them addicted. I wouldn't doubt it. These fucked up news channels like CNN and MSNBC aren't putting some shit in the background, some noise that gets people get them, that we can't even hear, that gets them freaking, addicted to their bullshit. And they're no longer news organizations, they're just commentators. And what the hell is going on? And then when you sit there and then like Jerry fucking Nadler, that idiot, he's like, those guys should know the law. And they don't. Or what they're doing is even worse. I could almost forgive them if they don't know the law. I couldn't Jerry Nadler because that fucking moron, he's been around since, god dang. I was probably in high school when he got his first government job. And he's been in D.C., but yet he sat there, and along with all them other idiots, and they go to their base. And then they turn around and say, that's what the Republicans do. And they do. I do. I do believe that to an extent, but they're really bad. They're actually, instead of going, one thing I didn't particularly like John McCain, but I can remember when he was doing his presidential thing, run, and they were talking about, I remember he was like, well, some town hall thing, and some woman stood up about how freaking evil Obama was, and he sat back and said, no, she's not. He's not. No, he's not. You need to stop that. So anyway, with that being said, I kind of, you can agree to disagree or disagree with me. I really felt that McCain was doing, calm down. Don't be so freaking ate up. Well, now we found out that he was more ate up about Trump, and he, I don't even want to get into Trump. My point is this, and let me get back on topic. Rittenhouse. This whole thing with the left, they were going around destroying shit now, burning things, doing that, because Rittenhouse was found not guilty for defending himself. And you know what? You know what they're upset about? Isn't the fact that he shot and killed those two guys and defended himself from the other guy that was going to kill him. They know deep down in their hearts that what's going to happen, and they've even said it, that regular red-blooded Americans that are sick and tired of watching them burn and tear shit up know that they're going to be emboldened. I have to admit that I think that is a fear, because last year they ran around and tore shit up and no one did nothing. And until fucking Rittenhouse did that, they all of a sudden stopped. They are scared to death that people are going to run out there and freaking start carrying. They already were doing that. I hate to admit, I hate for them to understand that this is something new, but the Oath Keepers were out there. These guys, there were people walking around. There was videos of some town in Idaho that had heard that the Antifa was coming there from Washington, and they were all freaking armed and ready to go. So when you sit there and you say that everybody's going to be, they were already there. The problem was you got your mob mentality. You decided this 7-year-old kid was somebody that you could pick on and you could take advantage of, and you could beat him to death and get away with it. And it didn't happen that way. That's my perspective. Other people are going to have theirs. But in the end, if you sit back and watch the videos, you listen to the trial, you can't convict him. If you come up with anything other, then you need to reevaluate your morals, because and your morality. And if you fall in on the side, well, we need to just frickin' take it into account. We need to do this. We need to do that. Listen, you really don't have a leg to stand on. If you want that, okay, if you want that immorality, if you want that, you're pushing the country closer and closer to more shit than you ever wanted to believe. Because guess what? All of us fucking guys that have sat around, all we want to do is enjoy our lives, play with our hot rods, do our thing, go to car shows, go on trips, see our family, do all the stuff that everybody has done for decades. And now you're trying to end that because you think that there's some sort of, you're either too lazy to get out and get a job. And I'm not talking about any person of color. I'm talking about, listen, majority of the shit, the pictures and videos I've seen of burning shit was rich white kids. Rich white kids. They stole, in my opinion, the entire meaning behind the racist, the Black Lives Matter stuff. In my opinion, you can say I'm wrong. I don't care. But in the end, a whole bunch of freaking rich white kids or upper middle class white kids who have no better, the parents let them play fucking video games their whole life, are out there freaking burning cities and thinking it's okay. So you went down there, like in that one thing where the prosecutor's like, why were you running down the street? And because this truck was on fire. Why would you do that? Why would you think that you need to do it? And Kyle looked at him and said, there was a fire. I mean, we just lit trucks burn to the ground? What the fuck is going on with people who think that we could just do that because you're unhappy? Well, you know what? Let me tell you, I've been all over the planet. And these kids had no idea how brutal the rest of the world could be. But anyway, that's just my rambling and all that stuff. And I may do that more. I can see I'm almost at 15 minutes. I don't know how long it'll take this to load. Hell, the old boys at YouTube may say, screw you, you're a white nationalist, separatist, Trump-loving old white man who's done this. But when you freaking idiots that say that about me need to understand, until recently, I was a good guy. Nobody had anything bad to say about me. I served my country honorably. I'm with Bikers Against Child Abuse. I worked every day. I raised my family. I did everything that I'm supposed to do to be considered a good man. I don't lie. I don't cheat. I don't steal. I don't, but here I am. I'm supposedly the bad guy. I'm not burning down cities.